What's going on YouTube? Cheapmaster55 here. Today I'm doing a deck profile on Fire Fist for the upcoming April 2014 ban list. As you guys, this is a +1 Fire Fist build. As you guys know, this deck took quite a beating with the newest ban list, putting Coach Soldier Wolfbark 2-1. And that is quite disappointing for the deck. I was a pretty big fan of it, although it was pretty powerful and it did relatively rule the meta this time around. I would say it was definitely up there in the top tier, so I can understand why Konami wanted to hit it. But I still think the deck is very viable, definitely still high tier material, maybe not tier 1, but it's definitely still really fun, the +1 build. I'm going to be going through my build right now that I have put together for the April 2014 list. Of course, the list was just recently announced, so this deck may not be perfect yet. Of course, feel free to comment down below your own twists that you would add onto the deck. Always appreciate it, always love your input, and that's about everything. So without further ado, let's jump right into the profile. Start things off with the 3 obvious: Brotherly Fire Fist Bear, 1 Brotherly Fire Fist Gorilla, of course your Monster Popper, and your Back Row Popper. Up here, the 2 replacements for the Wolfbarks I'd say are Brotherly Fire Fist Dragon. Very good card. He does a very similar thing to what Coach Soldier Wolfbark does, only with a much rougher cost. You have to get rid of 2 face-up fire formations, which it's quite the cost. I'm not gonna lie, as compared to this, which is free. But it's not bad. I do think it's a fair replacement for this card, and I did up the number by editing. I did up the number of spell trap fire formations by adding into Tensen into the original build, so that gives more targets for this guy. And of course the 1 sad face Coach Soldier Wolfbark. He's knocked down to 1. I can understand why he's very good, but that's about everything I can say for him. Understandable why he had to get knocked down, but still, he's at 1. We gotta play him at 1. Moving on, 3 card D, part of your plus factory. Next, 2 Effect Veiler. I think hand traps, important last format, important this format. I gotta say, I really do love Effect Veiler. Some people say it's 3 or none. I think 2 is a really solid number, and it's what you have room for, at least in my current build. Next, the 3 Hobins, Swag Trick Probin ×3, self-explanatory. 3 Potted Duality, thin through that deck. This is a relatively fast deck, I'm not gonna lie. You do a lot of searching, you go through stuff relatively quickly, which is pretty cool. Next, 3 MST. I still think it's pretty dire, this format, because Boojins are going to be quite a thing, and they do abuse this card over here. Next, 2 Forbidden Lance. If you're going to up a card, I'd say up this to 3 and maybe drop 1 of him or something. Or if you're not a Veiler person, drop that, because Lance is very good. Love Forbidden Lance, and this is a card I would up. Another thing, I had 3 in my original build, of course, before the ban list came around, but I dropped 1 to make room for the Tensen as a target for Dragon. Continuing on, 1 Tensu. This card's really good, pretty self-explanatory, just gives you an extra normal summon. And 1 of your fire formations, 2 Goyoko, very good. Lock down that back row. 3 Tanky. I'm really happy as both a Fire Fist and a Boojin player that this card did not get knocked down, but then again, was there ever any doubt that it wasn't going to get knocked down? I mean, seriously, come on guys. They're making a new special edition with this card, and Boojins have become Konami's little pet, so let's not be surprised here. Now moving on to the trap lineup, 2 Tensen, mainly in here for a target for him. Wasn't ran in the original build, and I wouldn't run it if we didn't need to, but it is a kind of a dire target for this guy. Next, 1 Bottomless. Always love this card. Very good. 1 Solemn, probably one of the best traps ever made, I can safely say. 2 Dimensional Prison. You can swap these out for 2 Mirror Force. Depends what you're into. I am more of a Dimensional Prison guy kind of right now. 2 Fiendish Chain. Another card you could run more of, depending on your personal preference, but I'm running 2 in my build. And finally, 3 Call of the Haunted. I can't remember who called it. I think it might have been Asian Eyes, or someone who called it that you should run Call the Haunted if this guy got knocked down. And I totally agree. Call the Haunted is really good to get Coach Soldier Wolfbark back onto the field so you can resolve his effect once again. Now we'll go on to the extra deck. 2 Brother the Fire Fist Tiger King, self-explanatory, kind of your main card in the extra deck, the main gimmick for the deck, kinda. One Brother of the Fire Fist Cardinal. This card's really good. When you get off its effect, it can be busted. It's really useful clearing up the field. It's really good. Next, one Fujinte Kajutsuche. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. But this card's pretty good. Protects itself. May mill 5, and you're not going to get any extra attack points, of course, unless, of course, you want to splash in some Yamatos. But no. This card's good for its factor that it protects itself, which is pretty cool, and it has a relatively high attack points. Next, Diamond Direwolf. Pretty self-explanatory. Very good card. 2 Silent Honor Arc. Can't see why you wouldn't run it. Didn't get hit, so keep on running that card. That card is amazing. Next one, Excite on Knight. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not Extinction Knight, guys. There is a C in it. Extinction. Oh, okay, that has a C in it too. But the C comes before the I and the T, so it's extinction. It's not extinction. It's Excite on. So sorry for that little mini rant. Let's continue on. 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 Digusto Emerald, 1 Crazy Box. Amazing against Skill Drain, guys. You're gonna need this card. 1 Maestroke. I still think it's pretty good. And 1 Armades, of course, because you do run the Veilers and everything is level 4, except for your card cards. But that's everything, guys, for my profile. Of course, I'm going to go through some alternate decisions you could add in. This is something I was trying out for fun, since this is a +1 build. I was playing Rescue Rabbit. Although it is at 1, it's really situational, and it's pretty sketchy. But if you're playing a more for fun build, it's super fun. It's really fun to play. Rescue Rabbit in this deck with, of course, 3G Mort Boarwolf. It's really fun, and surprisingly, when you do resolve this, it's pretty funny. Because, of course, you can get into 4,000 damage if you can get in 2 hits with these guys. 4,000 at max, and of course you can go into this guy, main phase 2, which is really sick. And another card you may consider running instead of the calls, which I heard no one mention, which I was surprised, because this card was underrated, I always thought. And I ran it in Inzectors back when I ran Inzectors, and I ran it in I can't remember the other deck I ran in, but I know I ran this in Inzectors. This card is really underrated in my opinion. Let me just read off its effect. If you don't know, this is Pinpoint Guard. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target 1 level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon in face of defense position. It cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. So it protects the card for the turn, which makes it better than this guy automatically. It's in defense, so you're not going to be taking any swings, and you could use it to bring back Wolf Bark and use its effect next turn, which is really good in my opinion. But the thing is, it is situational. I'm not going to lie, because your opponent's monster has to declare an attack. That's why right now I am running the calls over Pinpoint Guard. But personal preference, I've been trying it on and off between call and Pinpoint Guard. I do like them both. I think they're really good, and that's another just another option. Like I said, once the ban list comes around, you guys got to change it up, you know. And that's just one way to do it, you know. So that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you would change, your own opinions on the deck, and how you think it's going to work out this format. I still think the deck has plenty of potential. Has taken quite a beating with the most recent ban list. But hey, we still got the 3 tanky. We're still kicking. And I think that's everything I have to say, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And Chimaster55 signing out. Have a nice day.